Hi, everyone. Welcome to Chair Yoga. Today is the week that we have started our practice of the 8 limbs of yoga, kind of getting some awareness about those 8 limbs of yoga. So this week 1, we are focusing on Ahimsa, which is one of the yamas, and that is the practice of nonviolence. And the second one is Tapas, which is from the niyamas, and that is a practice of discipline or commitment to, giving yourself to whatever it is your endeavor. So keeping that in mind, I'll try to weave those into the practice, and I hope you've had a chance to utilize the book that I'm recommending, that little book that's available on Amazon for not much, and it's called A Morning Cup of Yoga. It's got such a simple but very well-written explanation of many of these terms that we're going to be exploring. One thing I do want to help us to be aware of, is so we can take in this information in a way that I think is really useful, is yoga is considered a practice of subtraction, not adding on, but subtracting from. And what I think that means, at least in my understanding, is that that yoga is approaching us with terms and ideas and practices of which helps us to get in touch with our true nature. In other words, it's already in us, so this idea of nonviolence, let's use that, is already a part of the very fiber of our being. That's how we were made. And so we bring it to our attention to just sort of take away, subtract from anything that keeps us from that, so that we can, be really living that experience of nonviolence and that way of operating in the world. So a practice of subtraction. I guess with tapas, the same thing, is that we already know deep within us, a sense of commitment, of, just using the strength within us, the strength of character that helps us to stay stay on the project we're doing, or just, commitment in relationships. Sometimes they're not easy, but we have committed to. That's tapas. That's using. So it's already a part of the very nature of us. So just wanted to bring that up. So it's not like we're trying to learn new terms that are very foreign to us. I think it's really going to be more of a remembering of what we already know to be so. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes now and maybe, come into a nice strong sit where you're coming forward on your chair. You're not using the backrest. And we just take a moment now to open with this prayer. As you connect with your breath and feel the strength of your body and your connection to the earth, the sense of grounding. And let's begin with this idea. May what needs to be said is said. What needs to be heard is heard. What needs to be released is released. And that which needs to be embraced is embraced. Now stay with your inner connection for just a moment longer, breathing in and breathing out. And I'll go get myself repositioned here to begin the movement. Hi, Marianne. I see you've joined us. If you don't mind turning your video off, that would be great. I'm recording today. So I've got the block between my lower legs, between the shins and calf area. So I want you to, if you've got a block available, to use that to align yourself to this posture with the shins in, which allows you to let your thigh bones pull out a little bit. It's not a major experience, but it's a really good discipline, applying that word tapas, to alignment of the legs. So let's just feel enough pressure into that block so that it's not going to drop, but no more than that. Just finding that right balance, that right effort. Good. Let's begin with some shoulder rolls. Let's begin to move the shoulder blades up, back, and down using your upper arms. So keeping your arms real close to the side body, maybe hands on your lap, and then just pull up, back, and down so you start to feel movement in the shoulder blades. Now position your head well. So as you're moving your shoulder blades, just pay attention to how your neck feels so that there's no strain on the neck just because we kind of forgot about managing the weight of the head. So let's stay with it. Repetition is always our best friend here. Try to really get our body to connect with this movement. I mean, our mind and body to really connect to this movement and releasing, letting go. And then squeeze up. So it feels like you're really tightening everything, squeezing up. They'll often refer to this as draw your shoulders up towards your ears and squeeze and release that real heavy. Let's do another one like that, a squeeze and then a release. And last time, squeeze and release. And then let's try the shoulder roll going the other way. So it starts to roll forward. So the shoulder blades, instead of squeezing in toward each other, toward the spine, now we're pulling them away from that, spreading them apart. Shoulder blades get a little more stretch in that direction. So just start to let the shoulder blades roll through that movement. Excellent. And then let's come back to a neutral position, our mountain pose, where our hands drop away from the lap now and palms are facing forward. Now let's just do a quick body scan. Feel the surface of your feet, including your toes. The ball end of your big toes. So you're on the inside arch of your foot and feeling that. And then rolling out toward the heels and the out pinky edge of your feet. So you just really notice, this is just a scan. Just noticing your connection with your feet to the ground. And then bring that up, bring the breath up through the soles of your feet, up into your shins and into your knees. So it's a long, full body experience of breath drawing up into the belly now, into the chest, all the way up into your head. Let's exhale down that same pathway. Long exhale brings you all the way through the whole length of your body back to the ground. One more time, start at the soles of your feet. Notice that long inhale making its way through your whole body. Be very thorough with that awareness all the way through. And then follow that same pathway for your exhalation back down to the ground. Great. Let's inhale up, palms come together overhead. Look up if that feels all right for your neck. Exhale as we bow into ourselves. Inhale up and exhale, open into this cactus-like position. So we've got elbows bent. And let's open the hands wide. So we've really brought some awareness into the hands as well. And we're going to close and open. We're going to need some good core strength here. So I want you to pull your belly in. Feel that navel area engage. And see if you can find a rhythm of this movement that goes along with your breathing. So you don't need to stay in the pace that I'm using. I want you to always really follow the pace of your own breathing. And the best way we participate in yoga is by paying attention to the sensation we're experiencing. So we're not trying to judge ourselves about how it looks or am I doing it right, by some kind of standard that we've set, but how does this feel? Paying attention to the sensation. It's another way that we practice ahimsa. That when we, use this idea of being, do no harm, or nonviolence. Yep, we're still doing it. This is repetition. That we are kind to ourselves. So no judgment. Next time we open up, we're going to find that T shape, palms up, thumbs pointing backward. Full breath in and out. Feel the strength of your core. Here's a new breath practice I want you to try. As you inhale, it's coming through the mouth and you're making an O shape with your mouth. So if the inhale comes through your mouth, exhale just releases softly. Kind of the mouth and the nose combination. Inhale through that O, through the mouth. Just let it out any way that feels natural. This time when you draw your breath in, see if you can lift through the pelvic floor to add to that. Exhale, release. O shape in. Release. One more time. O, pull in. Lift up through the pelvic floor. Hold. And release. So let's bring palms together up and overhead. Find your inhale when you're ready. Exhale as you bow into yourself. Inhale up. And exhale all the way around. We're going to do 2 more of those, like a backstroke in the pool, lifting up, exhaling down. Trying to get your arms to come back away from your head, as way back there behind your head as you are able, all the way back down to our mountain pose where our palms face forward. I'm going to lose the block for now. If you want to tuck yours somewhere, we kind of trained our legs a little bit. This way we'll have a little ability to move the legs with some freedom. So I want you to start lifting the legs one at a time. Maybe you'll hold on to the chair here, your choice. Just to lift up and put it right back down. Stay within the frame of your chair. Try not to get wild with those legs. Let's just come up and down. And then hold one leg up, doesn't matter which one. Extend it straight forward, back to a bent knee, and back to the ground. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. It's a lift and a hold. Lift up your chest down. Extend straight forward, as high up as you can, straight leg, bent knee, and back to the floor. One more round on each side, bent knee up, push it forward, straight leg, lift up, foot to the floor. Find your breath now, inhaling up, hold it and breathe. Extend it forward, straight leg, bend the knee, and let's come back down. Shoulder rolls or moving your body in any way that gives you a reset. Let's move into our cat-cow movement so we can get that spine in motion. Let the arms just glide past the chair's frame and the chest comes forward. We lift up the chest bone so you feel that arch of the back body. Rounding through your back into that C-shaped curve. Maybe you let your arms come forward. Let's find some repetition with that. You're really trying to exaggerate the movement of the spine. Notice how your body changes to make the movement. For example, the belly toning changes. You're pulling it way in the C-shaped curve, very engaged abdominals. Then it kind of softens when you're coming into that expansion of the cow pose. Be sure you get your full breath in and your full breath out. That way your pose has a chance to really, appreciate all of that breath movement. So give yourself the full length, inhale and exhale. Two more. Exaggerate. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Good. And then we come back to a neutral position and see if you can just find your mountain pose where you can feel the balance of that, shoulders aligned right over your hips. Good. Take that right leg and cross it right on top. So you've just, brought your thighs together. We're going to do our twist from here. One of our first twists. We'll lift up, palms come together, inhale. Exhale, bowing into yourself. Inhale up. And exhale, we drop our arms over toward that right side. Let's just do one shoulder roll at a time here, just using this back shoulder to get it really prepared for the twist. Be sure to adjust your position on the chair if you find that, you've kind of need to be relocated so you can accomplish this a little better with more ease. When you're ready, we're going to put that hand as far back behind us as you can, maybe even sitting on your hand, palm down. And we start that rotation from the lower part, the basement here, and bring our elevator up, 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 so that we were up into the shoulder region and turning the head. Find the full length of your breath from the very seat of your chair all the way up to the crown of your head. Let's find that breath. And it doesn't have to stay put. So what if you just need a little bit of adjustment here and there, or your neck would really like some movement. It doesn't feel all that great to just hold it. So you're going to kind of explore the drishti, the movement of head and focus by, being a little fluid with this, creating what works best for you. Now exhale completely. And then we're going to unwind the head and then the shoulders and come back to neutral. Now let's stay with our cross leg and let's add some movement here. How you're going to support that, it might vary from person to person. So you may want to hold on to the chair. And you may want to, another option might be to really use your hands to support your leg. And here's what I'm suggesting is that we lift up that cross leg and try to turn it. So I'm going to give you a direction here that might be useful. Pretend my hand is your foot and this is the heel. I want you to turn that extended leg so that your toes are pointing in that direction and your heel is kind of trying to lift up. So it's not just lift the foot straight up, it's turning. We're trying to rotate our foot and hold it. Oh gosh, and I got benefit of the fact that I can see myself. So we want to keep ourselves straight up and down. Try to keep your shoulders over your hips. Oh yeah. And then let's come and go from that. So we come into it and then we release. I call that a come and go. So just extend that leg, try to rotate your foot, let your hands support that extended leg, big stretch, shoulders are aligned over the hips. So our spine feels vertical. Maybe we release, resituate. Let's do it one more time. Rotate that foot, toes point off to the side, heels rotate. Oh yeah, get the shoulders back over the hips. So you feel balanced in your hips, right to left. Excellent. Let's come on down back to our neutral position and just take a pause. Before we go to the other side, how about we crisscross, bring our heel in toward our hip crease here into that figure 4 position and give ourselves a little massage. Standing leg needs to be well positioned, your knee right over your ankle. That just gives you a nice foundation for this. And then just start to feel your way around. Where does your body seem to need some encouragement by pressing in through the muscles, rotating that thigh out into the joints, into the tendinous tissue of that hip crease. You can dig your thumb right into that. That's not going to hurt a thing. It's going to be nice and tenderizing for that area. Draping our hands across the shins when you're ready. Nice long spine and a forward movement, and the chest drives this bus. Remember, we're going to come forward only as much as our body is allowing. And then we're letting the chest drive that rather than our face and our chin. We're going to kind of keep our back of our head, neck, and spine in alignment that way. And then just feel your way into this. I have come to realize that for myself, whenever I can use my body parts to help stabilize, I like to add that. So for example, I've got a hand on my leg and it's helping me glide down into a deeper posture. And I feel more stable with that. Pulling the belly, really engaging that low belly muscles in, pulling in is such a good way to practice this. It gives you more depth of movement. Pulling in from that perineum and letting that belly button region pull way deep within the body as you're breathing. So you don't need to hold your breath to make that happen. Stay with it. Apply that commitment, our tapas, and we start to really feel it because we have to override. Sometimes our body or our mind is saying, that's enough. But your body is just benefiting from this. And there's just this little bit of right effort we can apply to stay with it. Hands are going to jump up onto that top leg in a way that feels safe, no pressure on your kneecap, and we come back up. Just take a pause here. Maybe continue to put some pressure in or some massaging action there. Always just applying that tender, loving care. Good. And then let's release. Shake that leg out. Shake, shake, shake. And let's go to the other side, crisscrossing. We start here. Squeeze those thighs together. And just center yourself, shoulders over hips, and you feel balanced right to left. Inhale up. Exhale, bow into yourself. Inhale up. Both arms are going over to our left now, and we're going to start that shoulder roll. Just let's loosen up. We start our twist, but add to it, just moving that shoulder blade. One shoulder is moving. Start to loosen that up. When you are able to kind of pin it down behind you, maybe sitting on your hand, maybe you use your chair in some other fashion, then you start that ascension of the twist, starts low and it works its way up. And it's kind of always in motion. You're noticing what your shoulder blade needs, how you can adjust that. Maybe the leverage you get with your arm against that outside thigh. Use the chair to your advantage. Lift up, create a verticality of your spine. And then turn your head as your body allows, adding that drishti that serves you best. Turning your gaze. Maybe you continue to adjust. You don't hold, you just move around and explore. Always through the full use of your breath. Inhale completely and exhale it all the way out. Stay with that. Commit. Full breath in. Full breath out. Soften the mouth. Relax your face. Good. Exhale it out, and then we'll unwind the head, and then the shoulders, and we come back to a neutral position. Then we're going to begin to straighten out that top leg. So make sure you're positioned well in your seat so that we can lift. And remember, the heel turns in, toes point out. So you're trying to lift your leg up and away from the standing leg. Hold it. Shoulders are aligned over the hips, so you're balanced in alignment. Breathe in and breathe out. Might feel different on this side. Then we'll release and set up another one when you're ready. Lift it up, rotate the foot, trying to lift your leg up and away from that standing leg. We got our support. We can hold the leg anywhere that it serves you. So any way that you're holding onto the leg to lift, help it lift up and really feel that stretch through your IT band is going to be, just fine to do. You're just really letting your body inform you. Let's release that. Last round. Make sure you're caught up with your breath. Lift up, rotate your foot. It's a really great addition to this, to rotate your foot, to really maximize the benefit of that pose. Exhale completely. Yeah. And come back to your neutral position. Wonderful. Come into the figure four next. So we're going to draw that heel in toward the crease of the leg here. Make sure your standing leg is well positioned, knee over the ankle. Shoulders are in line with our hips. We feel balanced right to left. And we start our massaging. Very rarely does this feel the same on both sides. So if you're noticing that, I always notice it. One leg is a lot more receptive than the other. So you just make your adjustments, give it a little more help, a little more patience and breath. Don't forget that tendinous tissue that's right there at the crease. It's like real dense. And you might think, well, I can't really do much good in there, but I really think you'll get some circulation, you'll get some tenderizing by putting your thumb in there and just allowing that to be part of your massage action. When you're ready, it's draping the arms across that shin. And remember, the chest bone is what drives this bust. So you're letting your upper body fold forward, keeping the back of your head in line with your spine. Now find a nice rhythm of breath. And you might find that your stop sign, you fold into a space where it doesn't seem like there's any more movement. I always refer to that as the stop sign. And you might find that your stop sign shows up sooner than you anticipated. And then, it's kind of frustrating. Like, am I doing something wrong? It's just following and listening to your body as it is today. Accepting that with, gentleness. Breathing through. Be patient with yourself. Just stay with it. Don't give up on yourself. This is where we apply both principles, really. So do no harm. We're not trying to bully ourselves and push our way into something that's going to be harmful to us. And at the same time, we're willing to be patient and to feel what we do feel. And let the breath saturate that. And watch this peeling away of layer by layer, even if it's just the smallest shift. Any amount is beneficial in this letting go. Relax your mouth, soften your tongue. Deeply breathe this all the way through now. And come back up. A little bit more massaging here, just holding the posture, just the shape of it now. You're just allowing yourself, you got your hip into this external rotation. Just holding it. Any tender loving care you want to apply to your foot or wherever. And then we'll release both feet to the floor and shake that out. Back to our mountain position and just lifting one knee at a time. Just kind of coming back to sort of walking in place. Find your breath. Excellent. Both feet to the floor. Let's see if we can match up opposite limbs now. So as the right arm lifts up, hugging your arm in towards your head, extend opposite leg straight out. So then just notice the pairing. What's happening. So the legs that are, the limbs that are really engaged, they're one's lifting up and one's pushing out. And the others are kind of in their resting posture. And then we're going to see if we can just automatically make that switch and find a little rhythmic movement that you're just finding your own action to trade off, matching opposite limbs. Find your breath, find some rhythm here. So if you want to pick up a pace that just really feels, energizing, that's all about it. Do it. Let's see if we can wind up where we feel like we've done it the same amount on each side, I should say. And back to our neutral position, let's bring hands to the shoulders and do some circles with those elbows now. Big circles. Thumb kind of grips in the back and your fingers are in the front. Big circles. Change the direction of that. So our movement of opposite limbs will come to a crunch. So bring that opposite elbow to the knee, bring the knee up as high as you can and then fold into that. Again, we're going to find our own pace. Keep yourself within the frame of the chair. Don't go outside of the chair's frame when you're doing this. Your breath might be noisy. Just keep up a good, strong breath for this movement at the pace that you feel fun. It feels fun to you. Pull that belly in. You want to change the tone of the belly so you can get the most out of this. Let's hold one. Lift up and hold. Breathe in, breathe out. Focus on the belly button. You're trying to pull everything about you in toward that belly button. That's it. Let's come to neutral. Do the other side. Same thing. Real high up with the knee. Pull that belly button in. It's like everything's focused on the belly button now. Pulling in. That's the center. That is your center right now. Excellent. Let's come back to neutral. We're going to keep those arms elevated. See if you can do some gentle movement side to side. Soften something now. Relax. Gentle movement, gentle turning side to side. Let's come back to center. Reach up. We're going to do a back bend where you just simply stabilize the low back. Now push your sit bones, the boniness you can feel in your bottom right now, push that into the chair. Stabilize the low back. Belly's engaged. Arms just start pulling back. It's a gentle lift of the upper thoracic area of your spine. That's our back bend. Our arms are just parallel to one another. And then try to get your arms to squeeze towards your head a little bit. Just notice what that does for this posture for you. You might decide, no, I think I need a little more space there. Explore. Stay true to your breath in and out. Beautiful. Palms come together now. Inhale with me. Exhale, heart. Inhale up. Exhale wide. Take a pause now with our mountain pose to find that breath of breathing in through your mouth with it in the O shape, pulling up through your perineum while you do that. Exhale, just release it any way that feels natural. But the inhale always draws in through the mouth, the O, and at the same time, you're lifting up through the perineum. Find that breath a few more times. Beautiful. Let's tuck the feet underneath us a bit so we can bring ourselves up and out of that chair. We don't ever want to lose the capacity to get ourselves out of the chair, both with strength, core strength, leg strength, and balance. So it gives us all kinds of ways that we're fine tuning, the range of movement, the strength that we know we have. We want to keep practicing that so we have that capability. Last time up. Let's find our mountain pose. So you should be close enough to the chair that you can feel your legs right there. You can feel how your legs are skimming that chair seat. And we turn our palms to face forward. Open your heels a little wider than what you normally do. Just a little bit. It feels a little pigeon-toed maybe. A little bit wider with your heels. Now notice your feet. Bring your awareness into the surface of your feet, including your toes. Just notice that. And find the balance. Where your body weight, how it's best distributed. So both legs are really holding you up. You're not favoring one side. Lift up through the crown of your head, really a tall stance. Gaze is straight forward. Try not to look at the screen, just lift up. You can feel your way into this. So left arm's going to lift up alongside the head. Bend your other knee. So we got opposite limbs doing stuff. One arm lifting up alongside the head, knee bent on this. So you've got a real long side all the way through. A straight leg, no bend in that straight leg. Lift up. Now bring your gaze to the hand, toward the side of your body, the opposite side. So, we've got that left arm up. Let's turn our head to look down, down, down on the other side. Breathe in and breathe out. Lift up, lengthen through that side. You can just feel we've got a lot of efforting, a lot of spaciousness we've created in this one side of the body. And the other side of the body is like giving us slack. It's going to say, well, I'm going to soften over here so that all the energy can be poured into that lift and lengthen on the other side. Deepen the breath. Head comes back to neutral and everything else comes back to neutral. Now, if there's anything your body might need to reset, please do that. And then let's set up the other side. Big lift and lengthen. Opposite knee now bends. Extend both arms. So one arm's reaching up, 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 and the other one is really reaching down toward the floor. And we turn our head to look down to the hand that's reaching to the floor. Feel your ball-ons of your feet. Now press into that so you can feel your foot differently. It's going to stretch the arch of the foot of that knee that's bent. Might as well take advantage of all the ways we can capture experience and sensation in our body. Deepen the breath. Bring your head back to neutral. Let's straighten both legs and let's just add a bend. Up and overhead. Find your drishti. What feels best for your neck? To turn your head so it's like you're trying to turn your face toward the ceiling, or if, oh no, that's not real comfortable today, I'll find somewhere else, somewhere in the middle, somewhere else. Full breath in and out. When we come back to switch, just make it a fluid movement all the way up and over. Find your drishti. Pay attention now. What does this side need? How does your neck feel here? Breathing in, breathing out. Big sweep back up. And we're coming to neutral. I'm going to suggest you move your chair in such a way that you have the back of the chair available. I don't think we're going to need our block, so you might want to move that out of your way entirely. I want us to practice some changing our center of gravity, and that is by switching your feet so that instead of your big toes line up, that you've crisscrossed your legs so that the pinky edge of your feet lines up. Give yourself some distance between you and the chair because we're going to use it in a variety of ways, but it's there to help. So start with just standing and holding. I'm going to face you so you kind of can see what I'm saying, but use the chair to support you in any way. So the feet have found the pinky edge together, and it just helps you to become very aware of how to balance this through. I always say it's a new center of gravity. Now press into your feet. Be curious. I don't want to give you direction about what you should be doing with your feet, but I want you to be curious about putting pressure into various parts of your feet and just what that feels like, and maybe what your preference is. Where do you feel the most stable? And those legs are squeezing together. So just to hold it. If you feel comfortable to add arms, let's try that open and close that we did a little bit ago. We've got our cactus arms, hands are open wide, and we're going to close in and open up. So if you don't feel stable and you need one hand on your chair, you can still do the movement. You could hold on to the chair and still do one side at a time. Couple more. Keep your head in line with your spine now. Try not to look at the screen. Try to pay attention to your body. Feel your feet. Feel your center of gravity. Be aware of it. Squeeze and hold. So we're in the closed position. We hold, and we're going to lift our elbows up. I'm going to turn so you see what I'm doing. Lifting the elbows up. Breathe now. Breath in and out. So it feels like your whole body has wrapped itself around a single midline pole here. Let's soften and release. Stay with me, legs are still crossed. Here's where we're gonna need a little, maybe a little space between us and the chair. I want you to try to fold. Use the chair however you want to. I'm gonna glide myself right down that chair to the point where I don't need it. You may choose otherwise. If you are folding forward without the use of the chair, I want you to get heavy with your head and look down and underneath yourself. So the weight of your head is dropping straight down, crown of the head down. Again, your chair is right there. What if you had one hand on the chair and yet that still allows you to deeply fold? So play with what works well for you in this new and profound way to do a forward fold. Press into the toes, the balls of the feet. Excellent. Let's get our hands to the chair. Make your way up. Let's just take a pause, unwind yourself so you're back in a neutral position and just move around, shake it out, move around a little bit. Now we need to recross the legs the other way. I hope we don't have trouble with that, like, oh shoot, I didn't pay attention. See if you can recross so you've got the other leg in front now. And feel your way into that. Put your shoulders and your hips in alignment. Feel your center of gravity changing. So it starts with just standing and holding and feeling it. And then we're going to move into getting the arms involved if you're able and willing to close and open. Take your time. Feel your spine adjust and lift your head up so you're in a nice, strong, stable, upright position. Feel your feet. Breathing in and breathing out. Try syncing up your breath, inhaling like this and exhaling when you close. Just try it. Inhaling, open. Exhale, close. When we close, we're going to lift those elbows up. Press your palms, full breath in and out. Feel your shoulder blades spreading apart now. Exhale completely, and we'll release. I'm going to turn toward the chair. So now we're going to use the chair for the forward fold. So you start to fold down, and anywhere is fine. So you're going to explore this according to what your body needs. Maybe you bring your body more into that tabletop position, and that's all that you want to do. That's all the body is really feels comfortable with, and that's what you want to participate in. Or somewhere in between that and the floor. Keep your head in mind. Be aware of the weight of your head now. Find your breath. Your breath is always going to be your best teacher, the best guide. Deepen that breath. Bend your knees if you need to. All of that is fine. You're just allowing your body to teach you. Feeling your body in a different way, a different center of gravity, different awareness. I'm making my way up. If you're ready to join me, just bringing yourself to the chair and letting the support of the chair help you. Let's just uncross the legs, come back to now just a neutral position. I want you to shake that all out. I want you to add a hum now as we start bouncing down a little bit, just getting yourself to thump down. And then every time you do it, you exhale out like buzzing through your mouth like a hum. Hmm, 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 hmm. That's all we need. Just that sound resonating through your body. It's very healing. It's very relaxing. It's a sound. It's a therapy all in of itself. So let's try that forward fold, our extended forward fold with our legs in their typical position of just hips distance apart, L shape now, flattening out the back. pull the buttocks back toward the wall behind you, a very soft touch with your hands to the chair. So you're using your legs much more than your arms. Arms, by the way, are gliding past your ears, so your shoulders are comfortable here. Now soften the knees quite a bit so you can let your hips sway from side to side. Good, and then let's walk ourselves toward the chair. Let's find our mountain pose. A little bit wider stance with your feet. Palms face forward. Just take a pause here. Feel your body redistribute the weight into your feet and legs. Just notice that subtle adjustment. And let's just add that hula hoop. Maybe hands come to the hips or the waist, and you're just allowing your hips to circle, and you're trying to keep your shoulders and your head still as much as you can. You're trying to keep that part of your body centered and stable so that the movement is really isolated into the pelvis. So we're circling around as big a circle as you can go. Exaggerate that and let your knees go with it. Lock knees would be deadly here. So you want to have a real buoyancy of your knees. Big circle around like a hula hoop. Let's change the direction of our circle. Beautiful, and come back to your neutral position. Let's turn the chair so we've got the seat of the chair toward us. We can go into a deeper movement, our downward facing dog. So palms are going to come here. We start off in our tabletop where our shoulders are right above our wrists, and we've got a tabletop-like effect. Take a pause here. And then start walking yourself back, and you feel your way through as you extend your arms right alongside your ears, and you're pulling back with those legs as straight as you can do. Press into your feet. It's like you want your femur bones, that's the thigh bones, to pull back into the back of your legs. You're going to try to pull those bones to nestle into the back muscles, the very back of your legs. That's it. Tuck your chin in towards your throat. So your head is very neutral, no strain in the neck at all. Pull that chin up in towards your throat. That's going to be a better posture. Breathe in and breathe out. Add for me that breath where you make an O with your mouth. Take an inhale through the O of your mouth. Pull up through the perineum. That's the pelvic floor. Exhale softly out in a natural way. But your inhales always draw in through the O of your mouth, and you're pulling up through the perineum. One more breath like that. And then softly start walking yourself back to the chair. Your breath just returns to its natural breath. I want you to round through your back body. Feel the C-shaped curve. Knees are very bent so that you can come up one vertebrae at a time very, very slowly, and your head will be the very last thing to come up. Take a pause here. Don't move a muscle. Stay right where you are. Let's breathe. Catch up with your breathing. Feel your body's adjustments. There's going to be adjustment of blood pressure because of the inversion. Just notice all that. That's all that's happening, and you're here holding the space for that. When you're ready, take your time. Go slow. Let's reposition our chair, and we'll have a seat. Take your time. We're not going to lean back into the backrest, so come into the chair where you're still forward of that backrest. More of our posture of activity, I guess. And when you're ready, we're going to move into some release and relaxation for the neck. So dropping your chin to your chest, let's just hold that. Let your head be heavy. If this is plenty, feels fine to you, keep it like this. Or if you want a little bit more sensation, interlace your hands and bring them to the very base of your skull. So those interlaced hands are wrapping around the base of your skull, and then squeeze your elbows towards your head so that the weight of your arms now gives you even more sensation, more stretch to the back of the neck. Think of allowing rather than bullying or pushing, that you're just allowing that to happen. Deepen the breath. And as we come up, if you did not choose to interlace your hands at the base of your skull, would you do that now? Let's support our head by interlacing now and pull the elbows away so that you can really lift your chest up. The whole rib cage is lifting toward the ceiling and you're letting your head just rest into your hands. Find your breath. Let your head be held so your neck feels like there's just absolutely nothing going on. It is, a vacation for your neck because your head is being held with your hands. Lift through your chest though. That's what's lifting you. Your chest, your whole rib cage is lifting you up to allow your head to tilt back. Like that, yes. Let's now come to neutral. Release your head back to neutral, release your hands. And then let's do any kind of movement that just organically comes to you, which would feel nice for your shoulders to relax and for your neck to continue to release. Let's move our way into our relaxed position. Now we're going to sit back into the chair rest and allow your legs to just open into any way they feel comfortable. You might put a little more space between your feet. Now I want you to just wrap your arms around yourself like you're giving yourself a hug. Just wrap your arms around yourself. Maybe you tuck your chin down, whatever just feels like a good hugging space for you. Hold that now. Just breathe into this hug. And then I want you to say to yourself, may I be filled with loving kindness. Just repeat that a time or two. May I be filled with loving kindness. And just hug yourself into that. May I be filled with loving kindness. Relax your arms whenever you want to. Soften the mouth, relax your tongue. We'll be in Shavasana now for the next several minutes. Keep your eyes closed. Find your breath that feels natural and that you don't have to direct it. It's just this natural flow, but you're paying attention to that so your mind continues to rest as well. Now, as you let the chair support you, feel that. Notice that you have surrendered yourself to the support of the chair. And then bring your awareness to the heart center, which is really the center of your chest bone. Right there in the middle of your sternum, you breathe there. It's like that's where the breath starts and ends, right there at the chest bone. Breathing in and breathing out from that very space. And then let's move our awareness over to our right shoulder. And we breathe there for a moment, in and out at the right shoulder. Let's bring our awareness to the elbow crease, that right elbow crease, and we breathe there in and out. Right wrist. And the fingers of your right hand, all of the fingers. Let's give it 2 breaths in and out on the fingers. We'll move back to the right wrist, breathing. Elbow crease. Right shoulder. Back to the heart space, a breath in and out. Left shoulder, breathe there. The left elbow crease. The left wrist. Breathe into the left fingers, all of the left hand fingers. Breathe in and out. Give it 2 breaths. The left wrist, elbow crease, left shoulder, back to the center of the chest, our heart space. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's move to the pubic bone. Breathe in and breathe out. Right hip point. Right kneecap. Right ankle. To the right foot, the surface of the foot, the toes. Let's give it 2 breaths into the right foot. Ankle. The knee. 1 breath at the right hip point. We're back at the pubic bone. We move to the left hip. Breathe in, breathe out. Knee. Left ankle. And all of the left foot, surface of the foot, toes. Let's give it 2 breaths for the left foot. Back to the ankle. The knee. The hip point. We're in the pubic bone. Breathe in, breathe out. Chest or the heart center. Breathe in and breathe out. Soften the breath. Soften the face. Open your palms to receive the benefits and blessings of this meditative time. Good. Let's breathe in through the nose. Exhale it out of your mouth like the sound of a sigh. Ah. In through the nose, out like a sigh. Last time. Let's come forward of the chair just a bit. So releasing our back from the backrest, coming forward now. Palms come together at the heart space. We bow into ourselves. We bow to one another. Namaste, my friends. Thank you for joining me. If you're watching me on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel.